Hello. Some folks look at me and see a certain swagger, which in Texas is called walking, by George W. Bush. This quote is from Brandon Quote. The sources that I use in this PowerPoint um, are one of them is from Brandon Quote, the second is from Texas Historical Association, the third is from Texas Almanac, the fourth is from PBS, the fifth is from the Battle of San Jacinto, a book in the A&M Library. The sixth is from the Texas Historical Association. The seventh is also from the Texas Historical Association. The eighth is from the University of Texas. The ninth is from the Texas Tribune. And then the 10th is also from Brandon Quote. Hello, I'm Brendan Clark, and this is a PowerPoint over Texas history. The first point is over Texas before its independence. The second is about its independence and its republic. And the third is about the statehood of Texas. The three periods have shaped what Texas is today. Texas as a territory survived for a long time, starting about in the 1500s when Pineda was the first man to map the coastline of Texas. There were many countries that explored Texas, the biggest one being Spain, but also people from Portugal and from France. Some of the famous explorers were Cabeza de Vaca, Pineda, as I said, also Fernando Coronado, and there's also De La Salle, which was French. After many years of exploration and time where Spain was setting up missions and things like that, they decided that they wanted to start settling. And through the impresario system, which was basically a system where the Mexican government would give land to people to sell that to others who would eventually settle the land. The famous one was Stephen F. Austin, and he brought over 300 people over to Texas. And I got these sources from the Texas Almanac, Texas History, Texas Historical Association Online, and PBS. And with a thriving population wanting to be free from the Mexican government, the Texans decided to fight for independence. The revolution was a quick, but it was a very eventful one. There were many battles. The first one being at Gonzales, Texas, where volunteers fought over a cannon. They tried to defend the cannon from the Mexican army, trying to take the cannon back. There was also massacres at Goliad and things like that. And a famous battle was the Battle of the Alamo, where around 300 defenders fought off around 1,200 of Santa Anna's troops, who was the commander of the Mexican army. And then finally, the Battle of San Jacinto was the final battle of the Revolution, where Santa Anna was defeated by Sam Houston's forces, who was the commander of the Texan army. And I got all of that from Texas A&M Library, the Battle of San Jacinto. Sam Houston, who was the commander of that battle, was also nominated as president, and he won the election. He actually served 2 terms, which back then they couldn't serve 2 consecutive terms, so he served a total of 6 years, but not consecutively. I got that information from Texas Historical Association Online. And finally, I wanted to mention my trip to the Alamo recently, where I got to see the mission building. That's all that's left after the battle, but it's in the middle of San Antonio, so it's kind of interesting to think that 200 years ago it was actually a battle scene. And after becoming a nation, Texas was annexed to the United States in 1945. And as a state, it was the 27th, and it's been marked by its unique culture of classical liberalism, social conservatism, and populism. Classical liberalism is basically a value in which the people hold religious freedom, personal freedom, very highly. Also, social conservatism is a kind of a moral system where they hold true to usually traditional values, Judeo-Christian mainly, and populism, which is basically the idea of the people should rule, not a strong executive. And an example of people who've been in charge is Rick Perry, who's been the 47th executive of Texas. He's served the longest time here. He's still governor. He's run for the presidential office, but he did not get too far in the race, which kind of shows the uniqueness to Texas politics, how he can do very successfully here, but not as successful on the national level. And I got this information from the Texas Historical Association, from Texas Politics, and from the Texas Tribune. In closing, Texas was colonized, then it won its independence, and it since then has become a state in the United States of America. And Davy Crockett, who helped defend the Alamo, once stated, "You may all go to hell, and I will go to Texas." And that was from Brainy Quote.